Ah, a fellow adept. I trust your search for knowledge goes well despite all the turmoil.
I can't believe they want us to go outside the house to find Vea. You look like the traveling sort. In your excursions, have you perchance come upon a young dark elf named Vea? She went missing a couple of weeks ago and her father desperately seeks any information regarding her whereabouts. That's a shame. Her father, Eris, the house counselor here in Balmorre, promises that anyone who can find his daughter and return her safely to his side will be well rewarded. You should speak to Counselor Eris. He's opened the kin house to interview potential recruits. Freelancers, as it were. If you're interested, go speak to the counselor. The longer Vea remains missing, the more distressed Counselor Eris becomes. Counselor Eris can be found at the Redarin kin house. And do hurry. He's ever so troubled by our failure to locate young Vea. If he finds that an outsider can succeed where the houseguard has failed, so be it. I have no issue with Counselor Eris seeking help. It's where he's decided to get that help that concerns me. House Redarin doesn't need outsiders to take care of its business. But who am I to question a house counselor? How can anyone not know about House Redarin? Is this some sort of outlander ruse? Well, in that case, Redarin is the grandest of the great Dunmer houses. We champion the virtues of duty and piety, and we have a proud military tradition. Our house comes first in all things. I don't understand why Eris seeks outside help. If I knew what happened to the Counselor's daughter, I wouldn't be talking to you now, would I? As far as we can tell, she left of her own accord. Counselor Eris Relith oversees Redarin operations in Balmorre and the surrounding countryside. He's very influential, very powerful. Usually, the Counselor doesn't allow his passions to get the better of him. But Vea is his daughter, after all.
House Talvani still keeps slaves?
How else do those lazy mages accomplish anything?
But what about the pact?
Has Talvani stayed out of the pact?
Even if you hadn't destroyed those shipments, I'm sure the Tribunal would have stopped the plague before it reached me. Where did it go? Someone help me!
I love seeing new faces. For a while, it was just the same old miners and the occasional traveling merchant. Thought Carolyn might have to shut this place down. Look at me talking your ears off. What can I get you? At first, I assumed it was the usual house squabbles. Redarin and Hlalu arguments can get pretty heated. Then I thought maybe the Ashlanders were scaring people off. But after that proclamation... No, I'd rather not talk about that with a stranger. I like the color of your gold, Outlander. Just between us, I heard the House Guard shut down the Shulk ore mine. Something to do with violent cultists who attacked the miners and took over the place. Even got the crew chief, or so I heard.
Mills, please, if you just listen.
Take care of yourself, Father.
Perhaps you can aid
Always
me.
were good at that.
Are you looking for work? I'm in need of a strong set of legs, Traveler. And you look like one capable of protecting yourself. Will you aid an old Mer in one last task? I have an obligation to my family. No, a duty of utmost importance. But I have grown too feeble to fulfill it. It allows one to archive memories for future generations. I hope to do this for my children, who have grown estranged. Invoke my stone at the locations I've marked on your map, and the memories I thank you for your aid. Fewer than ever are willing to aid their elders in these troubled times. Now I suppose the distance with my children is my fault, not theirs. It is a rare gem. Once, long ago, Red Guard warriors carried them into battle. One of the most famous was a sword singer in the First Age, Makeleleki. No, I purchased it from my master, Drennan, a Telvanni mage of middling repute. I have served him for how long? Many, many years. For as long as I can remember. I will serve him until I die, no doubt. But that will not be long now. Ah, yes. Mills. My son has never really forgiven me for never being here for them. He's a stranger in my own home. No. If anything, it's the other way around. Even Naria has grown accustomed to my absence. Naria less than Mills, but both my children grew up largely on their own. My duties to Master Drennan consumed a great deal of my time. Mills especially grew up with Naria and no one else. He despises me, and I don't blame him. You'll know soon enough, as will they, I hope. I failed them as a father. I cannot travel with you, but I have attuned this stone to my soul. When you use it at the locations I've marked, it will summon echoes of things.
Do you make a habit of randomly accosting people while they fish? I don't see how that's any of your business. I've nothing to say to my father or those his Telvanni master employs. Whatever this is about, it's no concern of mine. My father managed to leave me out of his life. He can leave me out of his problems, too. You want to talk? My sister Neria works the stables. She tolerates my father's business better than I do.
My, you look like a well-traveled individual. If you're looking to give your mount a well-deserved rest, you've come to the right place. We know how to pamper a loyal guar in Balmorre. My father? Oh no, has he taken a fall? Or did he ask you to do something for him? He's been declining of late, and I'm afraid he's not entirely in his right mind. Oh, Mills. He was so young when Mother passed. I've tried to explain that Father had to work to keep a roof over our heads, but it's been difficult. I raised Mills myself while Father was away, which was often. He's never forgiven Father for that. Oh, yes. Father is well regarded among the Telvanni masters, even though he's never aspired to be one himself. Master Drenim trusts him implicitly, and if you know anything about the Telvanni, that's impressive on its own. They don't trust easily. I'm afraid I don't know. All he's been able to tell me is that part of his contract with Master Drenim forbids him from disclosing any of the Master's business, even to his own children. Whatever he's doing, I'm certain it's important. I wish he didn't have to work so much. Master Drenim pays well, but sometimes I worry he will work Father to death. He's just so tired all the time. Even when he finds time away, Mills refuses to see him, and I know that hurts him dear. I did for a bit, after Mother died. I didn't understand why Father couldn't be with us until I grew up and learned how hard it is to keep a family housed and fed. Now I appreciate all Father's sacrifices for us. I just wish Mills could see it.
Ow! Stupid dog.
What happened? Let me see.
I just tried to pet it. Damn dog bit me.
Leave it alone! There's something strange about that dog.
You shouldn't be here. Didn't you read the House Redoran proclamation? I wouldn't be here myself, but some of my miners are still in there. Our mine was invaded by violent cultists. They showed up and just took the place over. My people are trapped. I'm no expert, but it looked like the cultists were preparing to conduct a ritual before the Ashlander interrupted them. Probably because I heard one of them say, "With this ritual we'll call forth a mystical weapon and attain the power of a god," or something along those lines. Look, I was just trying to get me and my miners out of there when the Ashlanders showed up. Well, I never actually saw an Ashlander, but I heard a cultist yell, "Ashlander thief! That's our mystical weapon!" That's not an exact quote, but you get the idea. It used to be an ore mine, and we hope it will be again. My crew was inside preparing to start up mining operations when the cultists attacked. The way things are going, we might just have to turn the place into another Kwama egg mine. Really? That's awfully brave of you. If you see any of my miners, tell them to get their arses out here. I'll wait as long as I can. Did you find what you were looking for in the mine? Of course. I perfectly understand. I think I'll wait a little longer and see if any of my miners were able to...
don't recognize you. You've made a terrible mistake in coming here. Do you feel it yet? The cold rush through your veins, the stiffness in your joints. Only a matter of time now. Only... you really haven't figured it out. You're denser than those stone fiends. Master Rethan brought me on to study a Daedric text. Something like that. But what does it matter? I'll be frozen solid soon. Black as midnight. A commodity. Nothing more. Ironic. You mean to rob me, I suppose? None. Well, none that I've discovered anyway. I speak modestly when I say that if there was a cure, I would have found it already. I guess I could squander my remaining hours searching for a remedy, but I'm an alchemist, a daedrologist. We don't trouble ourselves with what? Afflicting all these miners? Oh, spare me your crude moral outrage. They were wastrels, laborers that were too ignorant or too lazy to find work anywhere else. None. I'd invite you to kill me, but given that I'll be dead soon anyway, it's hardly worth the effort. Why do you even care? Oh, fine. I altered the formula, turning the liquid decoction into a vapor. It proved to be very effective. Unfortunately, it was nearly...
Ah, I'm glad to see you made it back in one piece. So, what have you learned? What? Well, that sounds ghastly. To think that my own brother would be capable of such a thing. We must move quickly. Did you find any evidence? Well done. I have a final task for you, if you're willing. I must take this to the trade baron, Councillor Riveth. He's staying at the Balmorre. Travel to the Rethan Manor House and detain Venner. Once I've explained matters to Riveth, send Hlalu constables to collect my brother. That the men I worked tirelessly to hire were being used as fodder for some vile experiment? Absolutely not. It's appalling. Why would I have sent you to discover what was going on if I already knew? Yes, I hired him at my brother's insistence. Something about valuable books and scrolls found in the shrine. We planned to sell them off once Gavros translated them. That's what I thought, anyway. I see. That is unfortunate. but I suppose that's the risk you take when you start brewing foul. Not long. He tends to be brusque. Once I've explained the situation, he'll waste no time. They will punish him severely. He'll definitely lose his share of the estate and the ebony mine. He may even lose his life.
The last piece of the puzzle. Time to tie up loose ends.
Rethan. Spit. I'm going to need a stiffer drink. You don't appear to be holding my drink, so I'm sure I have no interest in you. Off with you. I am. Young Mahler and I were talking about the sudden success of his mining enterprise, built on some irregularities that I'd prefer not to discuss. Not that it's any of your business. My, this is damning. Dear Mahler tried to hang this whole business around his brother's neck, and yours. A prudent, albeit sloppy affair. House Hlalu can ill afford such a scandal, and I hate to be lied to. What would I do with him? Chain him to a post? His life no longer serves the house's interests. I don't expect an outlander to understand, but this needs to be done. Honest. His city residence, I expect, just across the river. Do be quick about this. I'm anxious to be done with a brother's Rethan. No. What scroll? Don't tell me there's more to this fetching disaster. Does it now? Listen carefully. Don't breathe a word of this to anyone else. If Mahler has this formula on him, bring it to me. The reward will be significant. We cannot let this get out, and we cannot let it fall into the... By the three, what a mess. I'll put some of my Oathman on it. Oathman I can trust. If we can clear out the riffraff, it might be salvageable. If not, we'll simply collapse the thing. Better to bury it than let some fool stumble upon Mahler's folly. You! How did you... Bah, I'll finish this myself.
Quietly now. Is it finished? Well then, this unfortunate little tale comes to an end. I've already dispatched some of my best agents to clean up Rethon Manor. We'll tend to Marla's apartment and the mine next. Well done. Now, what of this mysterious scroll? Excellent. Best hand it over to me. Something so dangerous should not fall into the wrong hands. House Thlalu can keep it safe, or destroy it if we deem it necessary. This will earn you some favor with our house. I'll even double your pay. You sniveling little swit. Do you know how valuable... Never mind. What's done is done. But don't expect any extra coin from me now. You'll have what was promised for killing Marla and not a drake more. This had better buy your silence as well.
Customers are always welcome.
Yes? Is there something I can do for you, Outlander? My daughter has been gone too long, and the house guard can't seem to find a wall in the corner. But why should I trust you with this task? Tell me, Outlander, how can you succeed when my forces continue to fail time and time again? An interesting insight. Perhaps you can find my daughter. Vea can handle herself, but the father worries, you understand? Anyway, Vea fled after a family. disagreement. She's run away before, but I'm concerned that she might have something more permanent in mind this time, and more dangerous. Bea knows how to evade that. Captain Briven oversees the house's attempt to locate my daughter. You should speak to him and see what his investigation has already turned up. He's probably patrolling the town square at this time of day. Briven's soldiers have been trying to get information out of Vea's friends, but those young men and women are almost as good at... That is a private matter. If you're like my daughter, my wife has a mind of her own. What the two of you discuss is your own affair. Just understand that I haven't employed you to solve my family's problem. Vea has always been fascinated by the MORROWND. Even admired one of their agents when she was growing up. It's possible she sought refuge with this agent. The MORROWND, they're an ancient guild of assassins sanctioned by the Tribunal to carry out honorable writs of execution. Ostensibly, they're supposed to keep the houses from resorting to all-out war. Someone of no consequence, and not at all important to accomplishing your mission. Besides, you don't find MORROWND agents, they find you. Just pray it's not because your name wound up.
I understand you were instrumental in crushing the Daggerfall army at Davon's Watch.
Not now, Outlander. If you need some sort of assistance, go find one of the House Guard. I've known the Relith family since I was a child. Vea is like a sister to me, and I'll do everything in my power to get her home safe and sound. Even trust him. Perhaps. As long as you don't get too close. They've been running notes of late. I think it has something to do with Vea that the runners keep evading my guards. Look for a group meeting on the other side. When you find Vea's friends, remember to keep your distance. You just want to spot the note carrier and follow him to whoever's receiving these messages. That's the key to locating Vea. If you can't do it, don't worry. The house can handle it. Vea's a born warrior. Hard-headed, stubborn, a real pain in the ass. She can fight like an angry netch, though. I keep trying to get her to join the militia, but she always turns me down. That's not my tale to tell. If Councillor Eris or his wife won't speak of the troubles his family has had to deal with in recent weeks, maybe you can ask Vea, if and when you find her. We started to notice groups of young dark elves gathering in out-of-the-way parts of the city. One of my guards saw them pass a note between them. But this could be a love poem or a recipe for Kwama cream cocktail. But we suspect it's the way Vea has been keeping tabs on what's been happening in the city.
House Talvani still keeps slaves?
Eris do those lazy mages accomplish anything?
Get this letter to Trevis. It's important. Just don't let House Redoran get their hands on it.
Get yourself a drink.
If you think you're being
And
followed,
one for
find
me.
a place to hide. Good luck.
Well done. This should help us determine what happened to Vea's brother. Hello, can I help you? Wait a moment. You're one of those hirelings House Redoran pays to harass us simple folk. Look, all Vea wants to do is to find out what happened to her brother. Too bad the house doesn't seem to care a swit about any of that. Vea wants nothing to do with the house or her father. Why can't any of you respect that? Even if I wanted to help, I haven't seen Vea since she snuck out of town. We communicate by notes, and this one isn't even about her. Well, if you must know, it concerns Vea's brother. He was an officer in the House Guard before he vanished without a trace. We've been trying to help Vea find him. A local tough, goes by the name of Ashur. He delivers the letters. We usually meet him outside of town to the northeast. But good luck trying to get any information out of him. I think we're done here, don't you? I told you where to find Ashur. He's been passing our notes on to Vea. Just to the north and east, outside of town. Or is this your way of offering to save me a trip, since you're headed his way? Balmor's not that big. Most of the sons and daughters of the house leaders and prominent merchants know each other. Vea's one of us. We'll do whatever it takes to help her. Well, within reason. And Vea would do the same for us. That's why we're helping her. She really is a terrific person. I'm not telling you anything, you Redoran lapdog. Sorry about that. I'm kind of on edge, if you hadn't noticed. Everyone knows Vea's brother. Or they did, before he disappeared. Ulran was an exemplary officer. Everything. She ran away because her father refused to give her a straight answer. She suspects he was involved in Ulran's disappearance. Or that he at least knows more than he's willing. You think I'm just going to tell you all our secrets, Outlander? Well, that's not going to happen. I won't betray Vea. All right. No need to get violent. Vea doesn't want her father to find her until she's located her brother, so we help protect her. That's why we set up the runners. Let the Councilor's hounds chase us, while Vea looks for Ulran. I'm sure Councilor Eris's intentions are good. He loves his daughter. Wants her back safe and sound. But what about what Vea wants? Her brother home safe, her father's honesty, the house looking out for its people and not just its precious honor?
Shahai of a first-rank Onse sank Yakuda. This warrior Shahai is beyond first rank. Death by 100 cuts! The wall pushes back! The healing cloud parts! Lightning crashes! My sword will claim his neck.
The serpent has been confined to his apex stone, and the natural order is restored. But his attention will turn elsewhere. We should depart.
Surprisingly efficient for a thief and a mage. Fall in line behind me. I will take charge from here.
How gracious of you. We should depart.
Gilan, look! A Dwemer gear. It's in remarkably good condition.
Yes, wonderful. I'll mark it down.
And here, another. Could these have fallen off the ruins?
Yes, that is peculiar.
Is something the matter, dear? You seem distracted today.
Oh, nothing's the matter. I'm nervous.
Whatever for. If anything attacks us, I'll protect you.
I'm not nervous about an attack, Bravura. It's just... well... there's no good way to say this.
To say what?
Marry me?
Are you serious?
That's... not the response I hoped for.
Gilan, of course I'll marry you. I love you. I just expected something more dramatic.
Well, I planned to propose at the falls, but today we didn't go to the falls. I had to improvise.
And this is why you've been so nervous.
Yes. Wait. Did you just agree to marry me?
Yes, Gilan. 12 times yes. My dear, distracted, adorable archivist, I will marry you.
That's wonderful!
Isn't it?
Oh, Bravura, you won't regret this. You are the stars to my sky.
Did you just come up with that?
Well, no. I've been saving it for the right time.
Feeling left out? I'm sure I can procure a writ for each of you.
That's it! Kill the Morak Tong and any witnesses!
Oh, please. No use getting my hands up again. I had that situation under control. Just needed them to make the first hostile move. Still, I cleaned enough blood off my axes for one day, so thanks for lending a hand. You were you? Was it Melissa? I told her I'd close out my tab after I completed another contract. That woman has the patience of an anxious Nyx. Well, tell her I'm good for it. I'll stop by and we can conclude our business cordially. The new apprentice? Now why in oblivion do you care about Vea? Are you now? And why do you want to do that? Never mind, I don't really care. I was asked to pass along some notes, but I'm not really the messenger type. I suggest you talk to Vea's. Make sure you don't anger Vea's mentor, or even look at her the wrong way. She's grown surprisingly protective of that young woman, and if she thinks you pose a danger... Besides, I'd hate to see you wind up on the wrong end of one of our writs. You know, the usual buyer's remorse. I see a lot of that in my line of work. Turns out, I had to kill a bad man who did bad things. The writ was legal and above board. Unfortunately, his brother didn't see it that way and was looking for revenge. Oh, you make it sound so obscene. Still, that's pretty much an accurate description. But it's not like I work for the Dark Brotherhood or anything. I don't kill anyone without a sanctioned writ. Keeps the great houses in line. It's a calling. I'd rather not. She's particular about her secrets, and I don't want to get on a bad side. You should keep that in mind too if you plan to continue on this course. Vea's mentor usually sticks to the rules, but I wouldn't turn my back on her. Even if you hadn't destroyed those ships.
Hlalu.
Leave me, Outlander. Let me die in the shade I brought to Malakath. Defeated by a lone warrior. Malakath will laugh at our incompetence. An assassin. Probably a Morrownd tongue. She tracked our leader here. But she doesn't know. We set a trap inside the ruins.
She's just one woman! Get inside the ruins and stop her! Let the assassin come. I'm tired of running and she doesn't frighten me. Come out, little assassin! Or is the Morrowed tongue too scared to meet the powerful snake face to face?
Habit of turning up at the most unusual moments, don't you, hero? Questions? I don't have time for questions. I have a writ to complete. Look, I can't keep these evil cultists waiting. Hero.
Come out, little assassin! Or is the Morrowed tongue too scared to meet the powerful snake face to face?
Really, Snag? This only delays the inevitable. A helping hand? How sweet. Excuse me, hero. I have to see an orc about a writ.
Don't kill me. I didn't mean to interfere with House Tobani's plans. I made a mistake.
A mistake? Well, that explains everything. I'll just let the Telvanni know. I'm sure Mage Valian will understand.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought for sure you were going to kill me.
I am. I hate when my leathers get wet. And this is a new outfit, too. Ah, well. I suppose we ought to discuss what you're doing here. I have to admit, when I saw you, I thought, what the tusk are you doing down here? Pardon my orcish. Did you really follow me across the continent? That shows commitment. Kind of creepy, but still a lot of commitment. Oh, that's not what I expected. But you can just turn around and leave. You're not going to find her. Faye's going through a difficult time right now. And the last thing she needs is some house veteran lackey adding to her pain and confusion. I know you, hero. It's old man Eris I don't trust. He didn't tell you about Vea's brother, did he? How House Redron exiled their favorite son. No? Didn't think so. Vea deserves answers, and I promise to help her. You need to just walk away. Outsiders? Is her father really that desperate? Look, tell Eris that Vea's safe and you'll see her soon. But no more outsiders. If my organization gets skittish, they'll return to the shadows and take Vea with them. They'll only deal with you. Well, it's not exactly a lie, and I don't want things to get out of hand. I'll arrange a meeting, provided Vea agrees. You let Eris know she's safe. Get him to stop hiring freelancers before someone gets hurt. I'll send word when we're ready. Ah, were you imagining a hot bath, a bottle of wine, and a secluded cottage with a roaring fire? Me too. Instead, we're up to our armpits in the usual muck and mire, just like old times. All this, and things are looking up for my organization, too. I suppose if you're in for a sliver, you might as well be in for the log. I'm with the MORROWND, and what you witnessed was a legal murder. According to my writ, the orc had to die. So, I killed him. Now, if you don't mind, I need to get back to Vea. Vea and I have a history. Her brother, too. They were good kids. Liked to watch me train. Now I feel responsible for her. When she came to me looking for help and asked to join the MORROWND, that was her decision, not mine. Vea's good with a blade and tracks like a Lord Ranger. She's a natural at this, and it gives me a chance to keep an eye on her. So now I'm her mentor and she's my apprentice. I wouldn't have it any other way. That was poetry in motion. Not only is my organization getting choice assignments again, but we're starting to recover some of our prestige. Specifically, these Malakath cults. Oh, him! No one special. Just the leader of this particular band of mad cultists. His name was on the writ, so I had to end him.
can I help you?
I'm surprised to see you back here, but I'm also relieved. Does this mean you have news about my daughter? Is she safe? Is she ready to come home? Vea? Join that cult of assassins? I was afraid she'd do something rash. What was she thinking? I don't see the Morrownd Tong as safe. She won't meet with me? No, I suppose she's not ready for that quite yet. As for Vea's brother, that was all the doing of the Redoran Council. I'm not allowed to discuss the details, but he's still alive, if that's what... Naryu's back in town? She's as stubborn as Vea. Very well. No other outsiders. Although I can't dismiss the mercenaries that Captain Briven employs. House Redoran is my life, as is Vea. I'll do everything in my power to see her home safely. As you say, no other outsiders. But there are rules, Outlander. I must do everything within reason to maintain the honor of House Redoran. Here, when next you see her, tell my daughter that I want to talk to her. Vea can set the terms, but I expect her to stop running away when things don't go her way. Vea has always felt shackled by the rules of House Redoran, hobbled by the many duties and obligations it presses upon its subjects. After the situation involving her brother, she decided she wanted nothing more to do with the house, or with me. That may be an oversimplification, but I suppose your statement is accurate. I walk a narrow path between House Counselor and loving father. Unfortunately, the former often
Well, look at that. Naryu said I'd find you here, and damn it all if she wasn't right. Did I mention how much I hate being a messenger? Makes me wish I had a writ so I could kill something. Anyway, Naryu wants to talk to you. Said you'd know what here. This should explain everything, sort of. It's a map. We change locations every other day for security reasons, just in case it falls into the hands of House Redoran. Never had to use a map before. Amateurs. This one leads to a key to one of our safe houses, and another map. The first map? It depicts a particular town. Look, I know you're helping Councillor Eris, but if that map falls into House Redoran hands, I'll probably have to kill you. Nothing personal, mind you. We're already having a bit of trouble with the house, and we'd rather not make matters worse. What are you implying? Can't a person do something nice to help out an ally every now and again? Oh, who am I kidding? I hate playing the messenger. Haven't you ever done something you hate because it was the right thing to do? Well, not all of us can afford to be so cold and heartless. I'd say I envy you, but that would just reward you for bad behavior. Why are you still talking to me? Don't you have a map to puzzle out? Well, look at you. You're a practical genius. Look, Naryu seems to trust you, so I suppose I have to trust you too. But that's a powerful secret you've been given. Betray us, and you'll find my blade in your back. Unless Naryu kills you first. The Morrownd Tong has the authority to accept and carry out writs of execution. We keep the great houses from engaging in all-out war. They rarely appreciate the work we do. The other houses have used us to take Redoran down a peg or two of late. To be frank, for all their vaunted honor, the house cries foul whenever someone gets the better of them. Our status is tenuous enough without Redoran's constant. As I understand it, the Morrownd Tong made mistakes in the past, grew too arrogant. We had to lay low for more than a century. Now, we're taking select contracts, working to re-establish. What are you implying?
Sorry about all the subterfuge, but we can't be too careful when it comes to security around here. Don't be so eager, my darling. It reveals too much about your ultimate intentions. But yes, Vea would very much like to meet with you. You intrigue her, and your connection to her father could prove beneficial once she knows she can trust you. Redoin records. House officials keep track of everything. Incidents, commendations, births and deaths. Whether important or mundane, they detail it all in their registry. Don't sound so offended. You had to know your hands were going to get dirty eventually. You are dealing with assassins and politicians, after all. The local keeper of records, Lord Drono, is away, so security at his townhouse should be light.
Are you stupid, or just hard of hearing? No matter. Tell it to the guard.
Still alive, I see. And since you're here, that means you weren't captured and hauled off to a Redoran dungeon. Good for you. Were you able to acquire the registry? And does it contain any information about Vea's brother, Ulron? Ulron was exiled? That can't be right. He's an exemplary officer and a good man. Plus, he's the son of a councillor. Why in oblivion would House Redoran banish one of their brightest stars? I can see that. There has to be more to the story, but I'm not sure how we get it. Still, you proved you could be trusted, and you admirably performed this task. So I suppose I should let you meet with Vea now. There's an abandoned cave along the coast. It's in the swamp and smells like rot, which makes it the perfect place to hide. Vea's supposed to wait inside, but she's bored. I know she's been sneaking out. You'll find her in the cave, or get to the swamp and find Vea. She's eager for any information about her brother, so she's really going to appreciate getting that registry. Just try not to be too charming when you meet her hero. She has enough distractions as it is. Vea would face too many temptations here in Balmorra. Friends, favorite places, familiar sights and sounds, not to mention the proximity to all things House Redoran. Even the most thick-headed house guard would eventually stop. Oh, don't thank me, hero. As long as you're useful and don't betray us, then we're engaged in a mutually beneficial arrangement. Cross us in any way, however, and you'll never see my blade before it plunges into your heart. Well enough. Ulron and Vea used to sneak out to watch me train. I have a way with blades that fascinated them to no end. Eventually, our fondness developed between the three of us. And to think, I never even had a nick sound growing up. It's not like personal relationships are against the rules, though I suppose they are sort of frowned upon. Anyway, my assignments always brought me back to Vardenfell, so we were able to keep in touch and visit even as they grew older. Anything's possible, but the Ulron I know holds honor above all else. I can't believe he'd do something so dishonorable. Vea's young, bored, and stubborn. That makes for a volatile combination. She wants fresh air and freedom. I can't blame her for that. I can blame her for assuming I'm not aware of her little Danger's a relative term, especially when you're dealing with relatives. Vea can make her own decisions. If she wants to risk getting caught by House Redoran, that's...
You're sure it's Vea? House Redoran isn't emptying its coffers so you can chase your own tails out here.
You pay the war claws well, because the war claws are the best there is. We have the kitten scent. It's just a matter of time before my warriors catch her.
Of course, Ferrara. Just make sure she doesn't get out of the swamp. I'll take my soldiers and guard the eastern paths, in case she eludes your warriors again. Ah, the Councillor's lackey. I understand you've made significant progress in your search for Vea. As a matter of fact, so have we. This whole ordeal will be... My mercenaries have spotted Veya skulking about the northern portion of the swamp, between my soldiers and Ferhara's warclaw. Veya's brother, it's a sad story, killed one of his own soldiers to protect an Ashlander of all things. I think they were being too lenient when they simply exiled him. But that's how they treat the privileged. Ulran always had an unnatural attraction to the Ashlanders and their savage ways. He felt that an Ashlander life was worth more than a Redoran life. The Council didn't agree with his assessment. This will all be over as soon as Ferhara finds Veya. Khajiit mercenaries of the highest order. For members of a lesser race, Ferhara's warriors are surprisingly effective. I employ them to bolster our forces. Between us, as you say, Ferhara's warclaws take their contract as seriously as you do.
Ferhara assumes the Councilor's minions will not present a problem for the warclaws. Yes, Captain?
The Outlanders have been warned, Ferhara. I leave everything else to your discretion.
Stupid warclaws. Now I know how a mouse feels. By the three! You really shouldn't sneak up on a person like that. If you're working with those mercenaries, I assure you, you won't take me without a fight. Oh, right. Now you mentioned something about that. Look, I can't wait to hear what you learned. But the swamp is... Unfortunately, there's a mob of those beast people between here and the cave. I was going to try and sneak past them. But every time I get too close, I think, you're going to tackle that mob of fur and claws. I'm impressed. Meet me at the cave when you're finished. I think we have a lot to talk about. Meet me in the cave to the north when you finish with the mercenaries.
I can smell the dark elf kitten. Looks like we're the first ones here.
Let's flay this outsider!
What do you think of my luxurious accommodations? It's got dirt and rock, fungus and a poultry fire, all the comforts of home. Anyway, you said you had information about my brother, Oran. What did you find out? No, that can't be right. Oran's honorable and noble. He's a model soldier. What could he... what? My brother has always been interested in the Ashlanders. Even showed them a kindness the rest of the house doesn't approve of. But for him to kill someone, especially one of his own soldiers, something terrible must have happened. I know the tribe that Oran liked to help, brought them supplies and such. He'd go and visit their camp whenever our father wasn't paying attention. Will you go with me to talk to them? Wait.
She can handle herself just fine, hero. Vea, grab your things. It's time to go.
Go? Why? What's going on?
The Warclaws are marching toward this cave along with half the House Redrin soldiers in Balmorre. We need to go now.
Damn it! They must have followed us. I'll get my stuff.
Dealing with an arrogant, impatient, overconfident young woman. Now I know how my mother must have felt. We need to move. It won't take those damn cats long to find this place, not with their sense. The back tunnels. Better than heading out the front door and right into the main contingent of Redrin troops. Councillor Eris brought additional soldiers from town. He's intent on getting his daughter, and he may... One more thing. The back tunnels wind their way through territory that House Redrin recently acquired. We may run into some resistance, but it shouldn't be as bad as what's waiting.
Does the ceiling look unstable to you?
Search everywhere. Captain Priven thinks the Councillor's kitten might try to escape through these tunnels.
Damn! Those cat bastards are harder to shake than a blind date. This looks promising. Let's give it a try. That must be the way out. I just hope there aren't any Redderans up there. No. Father ruins everything. I'm so close to finding my brother, and he shows up to drag me back home. You do that for me? Thanks, I guess. But what can you possibly do against all those soldiers? My father brought the whole damn army with him this time. Clever. Tell my father whatever he wants to hear. That might actually work. Afterward, meet me at the Ash. Once I find Oran and make sure he's all right, I'll meet with my father. But that meeting will be on my terms, not his. And tell him to call off his soldiers, or I might change.
Halt! Who goes there?
Stand down. These outlanders work for me. The captain reported that he had seen you in the area. There are also multiple reports that Vea has been spotted. Tell me, have you seen my daughter? I also said that the captain has his own resources. The war claws report to Briven, not me. Look, it was a gamble, I admit. An opportunity I couldn't let slip away. You won't make me feel guilty about trying to find... Very well. We'll do this her way. Vea can be as stubborn as her mother sometimes. But tell my daughter that my patience won't last forever. Do as I command, and let them pass.
fascinating. I wonder how long it's lain undisturbed.
It could be years, decades even.
I'd hoped to find more Dwemer relics, but I suppose the view is inspiring.
It certainly is.
Flatterer. You can see this view anywhere now, can't you?
And yet I never grow tired of looking.
Speaking of looking, we should start viewing larger homes.
What's wrong with our current home?
It's rather small, isn't it?
It's cozy. Just enough room for you and me.
And you don't see how that could become a problem?
No?
Well, you've done a lot more than look since we married, dear.
At houses? Wait. Bravura?
Yes.
You're pregnant?
That happens when one enjoys the view, doesn't it?
That's wonderful! I'm going to be a father!
Yes, dear. Yes, you are.
We need a new house, with a real kitchen and a second bedroom. Perhaps even 3 bedrooms?
One step at a time, dear.
Ashlanders, not with those tales. This is disturbing. I can't believe this. Why allow the Warclaws to run roughshod over the camp like this? What's House Ridderin thinking? And what in the name of the 3 have they done with the Ashlanders? My brother often visited this camp. Took me along a couple of times. It used to be such a vibrant place, so full of life. I know House Ridderin wants to expand along the western coast, but I never expected they'd set the... If Ulran was here, he'd never stand for the Warclaws invading the camp. He told me the Ashlanders were the same as you and I. Different beliefs don't necessarily make people bad. I really want to help, but Naryu won't hear of it. We don't get our hands dirty unless there's a writ attached. She's so fond of reminding me. We'll hang around and wait for you to find something before we move in.
Bea, I don't think this is a good idea. We're trying to keep you out of House Ridderin hands, remember?
You're not my parent, Naryu. I can take care of myself, even if the Mother of Blades doesn't think so.
Damn it, Bea! You know I hate that title.
If I'd realized how popular this camp was going to be with Outlanders, I would have moved the tribe ages ago. You don't appear to be one of the heretical invaders. Ah, Ulran the Exile. He disgraced his family and lost his status, but remained true to his heart. I assume they dragged him off to the mine, along with most of the tribe who refused to let those tribunal dogs walk all over us. Or should I say tribunal cats in this instance? Be wary. The mine will be... It's a small hole in the ground, but it served us well until the Redderans and their Warclaws arrived. Now they toss my people aside and lock the door. Warclaw Irgazar, get the key to the mine from either the Warclaw's commander or the supply yurt, whichever suits your needs. Perhaps you'll find what you seek within Kudanot's depths. To keep the head and the body separate. As long as I'm here, I can't offer my people hope or advice. And I certainly can't compel them to rebel against these invaders. I have no doubt. However, my place remains with my people, at least for now. The Warclaws have treated me well so far. They believe I can make their tails fall off if I so choose.
the Reverend?
The captain called them traitors and savages. Said the good roasting was more than they deserved.
Intruder! Warclaws, attack!
Down here! Come on! Wait. What's that smell?
Thea, stay back. You don't need to see this.
What happened here? Oh gods! They murdered these poor Ashlanders! Oh no! Oran! Oran! Wake up, please! You can't be dead! You just can't!
Thea shouldn't have had to see this. Even I'm finding it hard to believe that the mercenaries would slaughter these Ashlanders for no reason. I suppose anything could happen in the heat of the moment. But to kill a Redrun? Even an exiled one? That's presumptuous even for the war clause. I wonder. I've seen these before. They use them in Eastmarch to record and send important messages. They're expensive and as rare as a sober Nord. But Auron was always attracted to the contrivances of other cultures. Shall we see what it has to say?
If you're listening to my voice, know that my time is short, and what I have to say is important.
Brother, is that you?
Everything that happened was a deliberate act to discredit me. I need to report the events so my sister can learn the truth about her brother. You have to understand, I don't share my house's hatred and distrust of Ashlanders. So, during my normal patrol, when I heard that Ashlanders had come to Balmorra and were causing trouble, I was dubious to say the least. I arrived to find one of my soldiers arguing with the Ashlanders. He spat at them, called them savages. When one of the Ashlanders objected, my soldier drew his sword. Before I could intervene, my soldier's blade struck him down. I ordered the soldier to stand down, but he ignored me and stepped toward the second Ashlander. I killed my own soldier. I had to. Before I knew it, I believe I was set up for this fall, but I don't know by who. I came to this camp for shelter, but House Rederin's reach grows ever longer. Now Captain Briven's here. I'm going to talk to them, just in case I made this...
Oran! Damn it! What am I supposed to do now?
I agree with Ulron's assessment. Certainly sounds like someone led him into a situation guaranteed to make him fail. I can't believe he put this burden on Vea, though. What was Ulron thinking? I didn't say that. I'm just not sure how to proceed. We're entering dangerous waters here, going up against House Redoran. And we don't even have a writ to protect us. I'm going to take Vea and head back to our safe house in Balmorra. They found our cave, but the abandoned basement is still secure. After that, I'm not sure. The MORROWND. We can't just kill with wild abandon. We follow a code. We only execute those whose names appear on sanctioned writs. If we kill respectable citizens without a writ, it's just murder. So, without proof and a proper... You do that, but be careful. We're not sure who in the House Redoran is involved, and I'd rather not see you wind up like these poor Ashlanders.
Open your eyes. Please, open your eyes.
Are they gone?
Yes. You fought them off.
Oh, God. Dying for nothing would have been embarrassing.
You're not going to die. I won't allow it.
That's ambitious of you.
I can mend more than a scraped knee. You'll see. Just don't move. I told you. You're still bleeding. Just a little more. I can save you. I will save you.
Take care of the children. For me. Promise.
We'll take care of them together.
Promise me.
I will, I promise. But keep your eyes open.
I wish I could.
Bravura!
You've made these years so wonderful.
Bravura! Bravura!
Signed a contract, Gila. She did not complete it.
But she died.
And now the crystals she was to procure for me have been acquired by my rival.
I've lost the mother of my children.
Your failings are not my problem.
We don't have enough money to pay you back.
Then we will sell your house.
We can't do that. Master, please. My children.
May purchase their own dwelling with their own money.
Neri's only just turned 8, and Mills...
You would offer an alternative?
What can I offer you?
I understand you have some aptitude for magic. You will serve me.
But my children
will remain in your home so long as you do not violate our contract.
But who will raise them? When will I see them?
You will see them when I don't need you. Or would you rather see them in the street?
No, of course not. Thank you, Master Drenham. I will serve you.
You sign your contract today.
Were you able to recover my memories? It's important they understand. No, thank you. You've recovered everything I need to explain. Well, to talk with my children. I'm not sure my heart can ask my children to come visit me. I feel like I can finally leave them with the answers I've never been able to provide. Tell Neria we need to talk about her mother. Neria works at the stables. She's always been good with guar, something she inherited from her mother. Mills will likely be fishing.
Oh, you've returned to bother me again. I have nothing to say to that man. What is it about I don't want his money any more than I want his apologies? Does that man really think he can buy me off after ignoring me my entire life? Leave me alone. If Father needs someone to listen to his excuses, ask Neria to do it. You just don't give up, do you? Fine. I'll endure another few moments with my absentee father. For her. Just let me set aside the fish I've caught today first.
What? House Talvani still keeps slaves? How
Eres todos lazy mages accomplish anything.
But what about the pet?
Has Telvanni stayed out with her?
Back again? Father hasn't been an undue burden to you, I hope. My mother? Father rarely mentions her. I can tell how painful it is for him to recall her, even after all these years. I was young when she passed. How odd. Father always was dabbling in magic. Often it seemed like he had time for little else, though I know he did it to take care of us. No one persuades Mills to do anything. I'm quite impressed. That will certainly save me a trip.
The master went upstairs to rest. He did not wish to be disturbed until...
Let's go, Mills. He's still your father.
He has an odd way of showing it.
Father? Mills has come to visit. Father? Father! Oh, Father. I suppose you are with Mother at last.
Couldn't resist disappointing me one last time. Good riddance.
If only I'd come sooner. Thank you. We all knew this was coming, but that doesn't make it any easier to bear. My father was a good man, even if Mills never got to see it. I'm almost afraid to do so. What couldn't he just say to us all this time? Still, these were his last wishes.
What? A ghost?
Naria. Mills. I so regret not being that as you grew up. What I could never tell you is why my life was not my own.
Shh, Mills. I think this is a memory.
Soon, I'll be able to share the truth with you. To share everything with you. Thanks to the efforts of this kind traveler, I have archived my memories on this stone. I hope one day you will find it in your hearts to forgive me and find the father and mother you never had. Here, I love you. I have always loved you. You've both made me so proud.
Father?
Why? Why couldn't you just fade away like you always do? Why couldn't you just let me forget you?
Because it's not just about him, Mills, or you. It's about all of us. Our family, together at last.
Anything I can do for you?
And so the Outlander returns, as we discussed in the swamp. I expected you to return with Vea, or present me with a time and place for us to meet. Tell me, Outlander, which is it to be? Complication What kind of complication? I ordered my soldiers to stand down and let you do things your way. But instead of results, you bring me excuses. No, that's not possible. My son was banished, ordered to leave Vardenfell and never return. Why would he disobey me and go to those savages? Vea was with you? And you left her out there? By the three, everything is unraveling no matter how hard I try to maintain control. I need you to do something else for me if you would, Outlander. Tell my daughter I'm sorry. Tell her she needs to stay away until I can calm things down. I don't want to see anything happen to her. Promise me. And take this. Consider it payment for your efforts thus far. If you'll excuse me, I need some time to consider everything you've told me. Once I determine the best way to proceed, I'll contact you. In the meantime, it was never meant to be an attack. I sent Captain Briven to clear land that already belonged to House Redoran. The Ashlanders were given an opportunity to depart. House Redoran has been slowly expanding in that direction for years. We claimed that area almost a year ago, but we were forced to temporarily abandon it when a massive ash storm hit. Before we could return, the Ashlanders moved in. Redoran depends on that land for hunting and resources. The Ashlanders are like a plague of insects. They sweep into an area, take everything, and move on. We couldn't allow them to do that here. So, the captain serves House Redoran with honor and dedication. He's out doing his job. If Briven had anything to do with my son's death, he would have reported it to me. I'll speak to Briven when he returns. But understand, the captain operated under my orders.
Outlander, over... Now you told me what you found in the Ashlander mine. I can't imagine what Vea must be going through right now, but she shouldn't be alone. Nayu has responsibilities to tend to. Morrownd Tong responsibilities. Understand? She left me to keep Vea company, but I'm not very good at spouting words of comfort and solace. You do understand. And now you implied you're as dense as the ash storms coming off Red Mountain. Good to know even the Mother of Blades can be wrong. Vea's upset, and not just about her brother. She wanted to go with Nayu. One other thing. Nayu's job concerns House Redoran. That's why she didn't want Vea to accompany her on this one. Vea's grief-stricken, angry, and ready to lash out at anyone and anything, so keep your head low and try not to upset her. I have experience getting on a lot of people's bad sides. Women, especially, find me exasperating. Irresistible, but exasperating. It's a gift. Something about who Nayu's target is. Thinks the target may know something about what happened to her brother. Look, I'm not even sure how Vea found out who Nayu's... Carefully, and with your hands empty and clearly visible. She's in the safe house beneath Balmorra, or at least that's where I left her, but...
You might think. Oh, it's you. Sorry about that. Did Arshor send you to check up on me? I swear, the next person that treats me like a child is going to find my dagger in their stomach. Gods, I'm not mad at you. No, I don't think so. It's just been difficult. Finding poor Ulran in the Ashlander camp. I need to be... I know, but Nariu's writ. It involves a Redoran counselor. Exactly the opportunity I've been waiting for. The Counselor knows who set up my brother. We need... Well, Naryu wouldn't tell me any specifics, but she trained me well. It wasn't hard to sneak a glance at the writ before she took off. Her target's at Arenim Manor, out in the swamp. Not far from that smelly cave, actually. I appreciate you agreeing to see what you can learn at Arenim Manor. My father used to say it was used by counselors as a retreat, but Mother always told me it was where they conducted business at the... That's all I've been doing, thinking. And I think Ulran was right. I think someone wanted him out of the way, and they orchestrated the event with the Ashlanders to do it. Someone played my brother for a fool, and it cost... Brivon's as stubborn as my father when it comes to following the rules and regulations of House Redoran. Ulran and Brivon were politics, foreign relations, the Ashlanders, you name an issue, and Ulran and Brivon were probably on opposite sides of the argument. You did? How did he take it? I mean, he didn't... Really? I suppose that makes sense. I think he loves us. He didn't expect... My father doesn't know his children as well as he thinks. Either of them. That's why I had to get away. Join the Morag Tong. At least Naryu understands me. Mostly. I can't agree to that. I need to figure out what happened to my brother, who was involved, and then I'm going to make them pay.
I expected you hours ago, hero. It's not polite to keep an assassin waiting. I was wondering how long it was going to take Vea to convince you to follow me. But she thought I didn't notice when she glanced at my writ, didn't she? Where is my overly curious apprentice, by? I know Vea wants answers, but this is my job. There are rules, especially where the lords of the great houses are concerned. There might be a way to deal with this, though, provided you're willing to help. First, don't kill any Redrons. That's a violation of my writ and could have serious consequences for both of us. Second, you sneak around and search for anything that pertains to... We need to be invisible. These things work best when no one but the target knows we're there. If you get spotted, you're on your own. I even cough on anyone without a writ, and the Morrowed Tongue will have my head. It's unusual, but not unheard of. True, most writs taken out against the houses target low to mid-ranking officials. The Grand Master is cautious when it comes to accepting such a high-profile writ. Apparently, though, this target has been very bad. Councillor Dovera has been conspiring with House Drez to promote the slave trade and avoid scrutiny by Redoran and Pact officials. She played a dangerous but profitable game. I'm not privy to the laborious investigations that took place. In cases like these, though, the target usually becomes complacent and lets her guard down. She made a mess. Now I get to clean it up, for the good of Dunmer society. That's the question, isn't it? It nags at us the way the torchbug nags at the brave little scrib in those children's stories. Once we discover who Ulron's torchbug is, we'll have a clearer understanding of... I'm not saying that. Accidents happen. But they certainly made sure Ulron was in the wrong place at the wrong time, both in Balmorre and again in the Ashlander camp. In addition to whatever you can find here, we should also talk to Captain. Riven's name keeps coming up. At the very least, he was Ulron's best friend once. He might be able to shed some light on Ulron and what happened to cause his exile. Vea's my apprentice, and I'll decide when she's ready to take on a mission. She's been through a lot, and her actions reflect on me and my status in the Morrownd tongue. She may not appreciate it right now, but I'm trying to keep the boat. That's how it works. Her actions are my actions. Vea goes out and executes 3 writs. I share the credit and get praised for training my apprentice. On the other hand, if she kills someone without a writ, the Morrownd tongue takes both our heads. There have to be. My order came this close to being eliminated. It's only recently that we've started to make a comeback, and only in Dunmer territory. If we... The front door's guarded like a bank vault. Maybe there's another way in through one of the buildings by the docks. Killing Redrin soldiers? My reputation's on the line here. See what you can find pertaining to Ulron. Got a dagger and a writ with Councillor Dolvar's name on them. If we don't find anything, maybe we can ask for an invitation to the upcoming council meeting. I'm sure they'd be happy to answer our questions. Just for the pickpockets. Says it's the only laugh he ever gets. So House Redrin issued an advisory against the Morrownd tongue? Fat lot of good that's going to do the Councillor. was hoping for a quick stab and go, but it seems the Councillor might actually know something about Ulron. So Councillor Dolvra does know something about Vea's brother. Damn it all. Now I suppose you want to actually talk to her before I execute the walking. Of course we do. I specifically waited for you to arrive because I figured that would be the case. Still doesn't mean I'm happy about blurring the line between... We discovered that the next meeting of the High Council will take place at the consulate outside Balmorra. The war clause and the Ashlander abuse aren't completely sanctioned by the House, and that means we have to get Dolvra to spill her guts before I spill her guts. Just keep your wits about you, hero. Dolvra wields her feminine charms the way I wield my daggers. Don't let it... Be quick with your questions, hero. When I slip in, so do my daggers.
Ah, you must be here about those pesky patrol schedules. After all that clandestine correspondence, it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. Now, well, look at you. I'm impressed. The last person House Dres sent over was so much more... scruffy. I have a meeting with House Halalu short, the noble's banished son. Why does House Dres care about that? Never mind. Anything so we can get to the good stuff. Ulron was tested and found wanting. Chose the life of Ulron's dead. I hadn't heard. As to who was behind the test of Ulron's loyalty, what does that matter? He failed and paid the price for his poor choices.
You aren't clever enough, or pretty enough, to avoid what's about to happen, Dolvra.
What's the meaning of this? Who are you people?
I'm a MORROWND with a writ that says you're a criminal and a traitor. That means I get to end your miserable existence. Take another look around, hero. Alikir massage oils? Fancy. But that has nothing to do with Ulron. More proof that Dolvra was in bed with both House Halalu and House Dres. That's Captain Briven's seal. I suppose our evil counselor courted favor wherever she could. The good Captain Briven appears to be more involved in Ulron's fate than I had imagined. He never struck me as the type to use murder and deceit to get ahead, but that's the problem with greed. It causes decent people to make stupid choices. Or he's trying to hide something. The letter mentioned an intact squad sent to scout the old fort. You need to get out there and see what those soldiers know before Briven gives them new orders and they disappear. If you can slip into town, sure. Thea should be told. But you didn't take my advice. You killed Redrun soldiers. That's your trouble to deal with. I need to present my completed writ, so I'll catch up with you in Vea later.
back again. Took your sweet time. You didn't learn anything, did you? Not that it matters. Oran's dead and nothing can change that. What good is that going to do? They won't speak to us. House before family and all that. Believe me, I'm more than familiar with Redoran honor. Still, I suppose, more rules. I thought we were beyond those kinds of limitations. Look, I need to figure out who's responsible for Oren's death. House councillors, Redoran soldiers. Riven was Oren's best friend. Would he really betray my brother? Regardless, I want you to have this. You could have handed me to my father and you didn't. Other than Naryu and Asher, you might be the only friend I have left. So which soldiers are we talking about? I know most of the people my brother used to work with. Eyewitnesses are better than notes in the house registry, provided I can actually get them to talk to me. There's no time to waste. That fort's near the cave where I was hiding. Last time I was there, the fort was crawling with cultists. We need to find them before Vatala and his soldiers... We'll get Vatala and his soldiers killed. I know the process. Turning in a writ can take hours, maybe even an entire day. I'll leave Naryu a note. She can meet us at the fort. Let me gather my gear and write a note for Naryu. I'll meet you near the Hlormoran stronghold. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am that we'll learn who's responsible for Oren's death soon. Then blood will flow. As far as I'm concerned, rules got my brother killed. They don't apply to me anymore. Besides, to find the soldiers, we're probably going to have to carve a path through those cultists. The Morag tongue won't care about that. That's what the handbook says. Look, I know what Naryu's done for me. To keep me safe, I appreciate that. But this is about what they did to my brother. No, never. You and Naryu aren't my enemies. I just need to get justice for Oran. Otherwise his death will be the first of many. We have to be able to resist laws that make no sense or get people hurt. I know Vatala. He's a typical Redoran soldier, loyal to a fault. Always spouting nonsense about house and honor above all. Oran had a habit of putting the needs of others ahead of his own. He probably told Vatala and his soldiers to remain quiet. Decided to take responsibility and save them any heartache. You're here, I'm here, the damn cultists are here. You know who isn't here? Vatala and his squad. Naryu's probably busy clearing her writ, and we don't have time to wait. This opportunity to learn more about what happened to Olran won't last much longer. We need to find that squad of soldiers. Fine. You wait for Naryu. I'm going to go and find those soldiers. Their orders were to scout the old stronghold. I suggest we search along the outskirts.
Our Daedric Lord betray us like this?
Redoran officer's sword. No Redoran soldier would leave that behind willingly. Still wrapped and ready to use. Standard issue for a Redoran soldier.
You do not want to get on my bad.
Has anyone cut the staff yet?
Corporal Darvel. I knew him. But the others, they're civilians. They must have taken Tellem's soldiers inside. Let's find the soldiers and get out of here before these stupid cultists realize what's happening.
Who's there? We won't let you take us without a fight. Wait, Bea, is that you?
Thank the three! You're all still alive!
I'm not sure what you and Vea are doing here, but let us out. Then we can return Vea to her father. Councillor Eris has been terribly worried since she disappeared. This isn't the time or the place to have that discussion. Get the key to this cage and then one of the cultists carries the key. I don't think he's too far away. We hear him patrolling around every so often. Free us, and I'll tell you whatever...
You find the key. Me and Vatala. We're going to have a little chat while we're waiting.
Vea, I'm just trying to protect you.
From what?
Another sacrifice for the Prince of Bargains.
Returned? I knew I shouldn't have told Vea the truth. I just made everything worse. Please let us out of here. I told her what she wanted to hear. I was with Captain Ulran the day everything happened. I was commanded to lure the... My orders were to invite the Ashlanders to Balmorra to trade, send some local toughs to instigate a commotion, and then get Ulran to investigate. It was just supposed to be a loyalty test. Who expected Ulran to kill his own soldier to save us? Captain Briven, though he was still a lieutenant at the time. As soon as I explained all this to Vea, her face turned dark and she stormed out of here. I think she's going to Balmorra to kill him. You need to let me out so I can warn the captain. How dare you! When House Redoran hears about this, you're going to regret your actions.
Get your ass over here. I leave you and Vea alone for a couple of hours, and everything goes to oblivion in an ore cart. Why did Vea leave the safe house? And why you did what? I suppose you thought that was a good idea? Well, the damage is done. That explains why Vea broke into the kin house. I'm not sure what happened in there, but she certainly stirred up the Redoran soldiers. Vea might still be inside. Or she might have given them the slip. She could be anywhere by now. If Vea kills Briven without a writ, the Morrownd Tong and House Redoran will both want her head on a silver platter. You check the kin house. I'll grab Ashur and see if we can pick up.
Scour the streets. Search the buildings. Vea Releth does not leave this city.
Pitiful me.
What's the meaning of this? Where are the soldiers? If you're looking for my husband, I'll tell you the same thing that I told that brazen young woman. The council is meeting outside Balmorra, and Briven is protecting the councillors. Now, if you don't mind, I could barely make sense of the nonsense she was spouting. It was Vea, Councillor Eris's daughter. Everything she said was a ramble. Something about my husband. She had a knife, but no, she didn't harm me.
She said her brother wouldn't hurt an innocent, that I wasn't responsible for his death. Do you have any idea what you shouldn't get involved? That young woman will hasten her own death if she thinks she can get past my husband and his soldiers. But if you insist, the meeting is taking place at the garrison north of Balmorra. Dead soldiers? They were just protecting the kin house. I'll go stay with my sister in Vivek. Riven is the finest soldier I know. He'll set Vea straight. I'm sure of it.
I'm at my wit's end.
Please tell me you found Vea. I can already feel the cold steel of the executioner's blade on the back of my neck. Is Vea trying to get herself killed? You can't just barge into a Redren garrison and ask the soldiers to stand aside while you murder their captain? We have to get to her before she gets to Briven. She murdered soldiers without a writ. This is a dark path she's decided to follow. And unless we play this just right, it's not going to end well for any of us.
What is with all the Redrens? The soldiers were fine. I heard she slaughtered everyone.
I don't like the looks of this. Briven is using war claws to patrol the garrison instead of Redren soldiers. Either house forces, maybe nothing, maybe everything. We know Ulron refused to employ mercenaries. He hated counting on thugs to do the right thing. I expect the Redren Council feels the same. Maybe Briven's trying to... The war claws may be a blessing in disguise. I can explain killing these bastards a lot easier than trying to wipe Redren blood off my... There's no stealthy way to approach this. The front door's our only option. Then we track down Briven, find Vea, bonk her on the head, and get her out of here before she... Glad to see we all made it. Now let's find Briven before Vea skewers him. Nothing yet, eh? I hear voices behind this door, but it's locked tight. Keep looking, hero. I haven't so much as heard or seen even a whisper of Brivin yet. Just lots of snarling war claws. It's always important to figure out where a target keeps its wine. In this case, down in the cellars. There's a staircase back where we first... And I'll figure out how to get this door open, just in case. You know, attending a House Redoran Council meeting was always a secret goal of mine.
I need aid!
Captain Brivin is on his way. Soon we'll have a permanent job in House Redoran, yes? Kill the intruders. They have interfered for the last time.
What's going on down here? It sounds like a... You! What are you doing here? Explain yourself! What in the name of the three are you up to? I thought you worked for Councillor Eris. You better have a damn good reason for killing the mercenary leader. I ought to sound the alarm and let her warriors deal with the likes of you. Veya? She's barely out from under her mother's apron and she presumes to judge my actions? No matter. Whatever your motives, nothing justifies the blatant... Ah, now everything becomes clear. Veya learned something of her brother's fate and wants to retaliate. Then let her come. But know this, you're looking for the responsible party. Then look no further than Councillor Eris. He wanted to prove his son's loyalty to the house, to show that Oren's fascination with the savage Ashlanders hadn't corrupted him. Well, a test Oren failed. Eris was devastated when his son sided with the savages, and his daughter ran away. He decided to resign his position. He'll make the announcement today. Eris hopes to restore his family.
That's for Oren. Choke on your own blood, you bastard. My father, the entire council, they're all guilty. They all have to die. I have to do this, so stay out of my way.
Vea actually did it. She killed Brivin in cold blood. Vea killed Brivin without a writ. It was pure, focused rage. I never expected her to go through with it. If Vea doesn't get herself killed up there, the MORROWND will hunt her down and execute her. I'm not sure they deserve to be saved, but that's what we have to do. Vea can't be allowed to kill the councillors. We have to stop her. It's more than me and Vea's lives. The MORROWND only recently began to find acceptance again. Vea's actions don't just reflect badly on me. They could be used to force us back into the shadows, maybe even disband us all together. We have to get ahead of her. Cut her off. There's a door on the main floor, near the kitchens, that should allow us to come at the council meeting from another direction. I was able to get it open when I was scouting around up there. Let's go. Nothing's more important than reaching the council meeting. If the mercenaries get in our way, cut them down.
There's no need to panic.
No need to panic? She's cut down every mercenary in her way. Her father won't be able to stop her.
Vea's getting close. We're running out of time. Let me try to open this door.
Vea, daughter. I'm so sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen.
Come on, stubborn, stupid luck.
Father, why? Does the house really matter more than your own son?
I needed to protect Ulron, to prove his loyalty. If I could do it all over again.
But you can't. None of us can. That's why I have to do this.
That's an order.
I'm not your apprentice anymore. The house has grown corrupt, evil. That's why all the councillors have to die.
House Veteran falls today. Enough, Vea. This isn't the way.
bring us down.
Take us so much bloodshed, so much needless death. If only Eris would have listened. Outlander, we should speak. I think we can help one another. The Morrownd Tong agent. She cares deeply for Veya, doesn't she? It takes great courage to go against your heart and do what you know is best. You both did that by protecting the Council. A series of regrettable decisions led to this family tragedy, and most of them were made by Eris Relith. I knew of Ulron's compassion concerning the Ashlanders. It was unorthodox, but not worthy of the punishment meted out. Eris was wrong. Eris convinced Briven to test Ulron. Then the two of them decided to slaughter the Ashlanders. Oh, the Council allowed itself to be convinced that exile was an appropriate punishment. But I didn't say that. But we're not butchers. We do not hire mercenary thugs to wipe out an entire people. This gathering was to deal with that. Eris planned to step down, and we were going to demote Briven for the part he played. House Redoran behaved poorly. Morrownd Tong rules were violated. I suggest we make sure these details never see the light of day. Leave the bodies where they are. We will say that Veya died protecting her father and the Council from the Warclaw. Cooperate with House Redoran and hold your tongues. It's as simple as that. I shall return to the Council meeting and conclude our business. When we...
I'm not sure about this. It's a generous offer, but those are some big secrets to sweep under a rug. Besides, Veya isn't dead. The High Counselor thinks we killed her. The deal hinges upon all of us forgetting this sorry mess ever happened. Besides, once Veya regains her senses, when have I ever been able to convince Veya to do anything she didn't want to do? There's Redoran blood on Veya's hands. Once the Morrownd Tong ties those unauthorized murders, I don't see many options. We can either finish off Veya now, and go along with the High Counselor's deception, or we slip out of here with Veya and send her far, far away. She broke her vows and deserves to die. Yes, you're right, damn it all. Veya spilled Redoran blood, and now she has to pay. I'll take care of it. I need to do this alone. Now go. I'll see you in Balmorra. More deaths, more blood on my hands. Just another day in the Morrownd Tong, eh, hero? Veya died quickly. I didn't want her to suffer any more than she already had. This was for the best. If I keep telling myself that, maybe I'll eventually believe it. There's always a choice. Vaya could have chosen not to kill Redoran soldiers. She could have chosen not to kill her father. I could have chosen not to kill her. What do you want, hero? You want me to say that you're right? Fine. You're right, damn it. We'll all keep more secrets, and everything will go back to the way it was. Look, I'd offer you some of my wine, but I don't want to. Really? Is this what justice feels like? My apprentice killed her own father, and I killed her. We've got a lot of death, but not always, hero. Oh, hey, I want you to have this. Something to remember Vaya by. For an Outlander, I think she kind of liked you. I suppose I kind of like you too. Really, I'm not always this morose. Next time we meet, you'll see. I need a nice warm bath. I hear the ones in Vivek are spectacular. I'd ask you to join me, but there's barely going to be enough room for me. And why hang